Hello YouTube and welcome to my second game with Phil in our Surrey Snooker Academy League. As you can see, Phil's got a 3-point head start, and with the handicaps he's off of 12 and I'm off of 9, so there's his 3-point start. And that's not a very good start for me, going in off on my first break. What I will say about these first two frames is the first frame is pretty good in the way of potting towards the later part of it, but the second frame, if I'm honest, it's like pulling teeth. With a little bit of a twist right at the end of that one. So yeah, some of this first frame you will probably enjoy, or hopefully. It feels starting brightly. Yeah, nicely found that gap. But just didn't hit that one hard enough, I don't think. Otherwise you'd have had the black in the opposite corner. So attempt at a shot to nothing. And oh my god. Fluke the red but can't see the black. I managed to drop that one in nicely. Now this one was straight and I was trying to punch it in with a bit of side to stay high on the blue, but the white just didn't move. But I was on the black, so I could get that one back down on its spot. Now try and get some sort of cannon in the bunch. I'm not trying to hit it hard at all, but if I can just nudge, I should be okay and be on one. Unfortunately not, so I'm just going to run this red into the bunch and the white up the other end of the table. But the red's had other plans and they've found the gap between the pink and the bunch, and I have no idea how. So, little break of 23. Right. So after that, the confidence is running relatively well until here. What on earth are you doing missing a black off the spot like that with a choice of, well, 7 reds to play for? I was just trying to get up through the gap between those 2 reds and took my eye completely off the pot, which is really frustrating because this is the first game since having my last lesson, and that was one of the things that we were working on, was making sure of the pot and not concentrating too much on cannons or gaps. Yeah, and then I go and mess that one up royally. So Phil's making light work of these. Nicely onto the black. Got a choice of 2. Can screw back for the one on the cushion or a bit further and you'll have the one in the middle of the table. Yeah, that was unlucky, that one. That was, excuse me, very nice break of 36. Hard to be on the receiving end of something like that, but it was very well played. So no effort at staying on the black. Playing up for the blue, and that blue I'm trying to get on the red that's next to the green actually, but haven't hit it hard enough and knew that this one was always a backup. But pocket said no. So he's got that black in, and oh, he's not the green in, unfortunately. So I was trying to play that red round the angles and completely made a hash of it, as I now need a snooker. So just try and make some sort of contact with this one, and then hope, fingers crossed, that it goes somewhere safe. And that couldn't be much safer, actually. Apologies about that one. I did say sorry about fluking that snooker. Now, cue ball up behind the yellow, and red, flick it off the pink and send it hopefully somewhere behind the black. Not quite gone according to plan. And that means that Phil's managed to pot that one. So 40 points difference, 27 on. And he's brought the brown off the cushion there. But with the pink and blue as they are, I'm thinking if I can work myself into a position where I can get a snooker off of the first colours and then a couple off of the blue, hopefully, then I might still manage to come back and win this one. But in the end, deciding that it would be a good idea to remove these first few and see if I can get the cue ball somewhere near the blue so I can lay a decent snooker. Oh, dearie me. What I was doing missing that one, I'm not sure. Phil's had a look at the cheeky double. So that is the end of the frame, unless he fails on this blue. But no, he hasn't. So that's the end of that one. We'll go straight into frame 2. But that was a good opening frame. But this one, it goes really, really scrappy and messy and horrible, and no one likes to play in frames like that. So trying to dump the cue ball down the other end, and it's gone a bit too far. Oh, wasn't a million miles away with that one. So a few shots further on, I think this is a little bit of a free shot with this red to the middle, because I won't be leaving anything on other than the ball that I'm playing if it misses. But got that one in nicely, and a really tough black down the cushion. I was happy with how that red's been potted, but I thought I was going to get a much thicker cannon off the bunch, and it was then hopefully going to leave me on the black, but it didn't. And Phil's put out a lovely middle pocket pot and trying to get into the bunch, but has unfortunately caught the bump of the middle pocket. So gently drop this in. If I haven't got the blue, then I'll be on one of the baulk colours. But look at that awful cueing. Rewind that and have a look at the awful, awful snatch, because it was just off straight. Oh, that is some of the worst cueing you are likely to see, I think. Now I'm trying to be a little bit sneaky here. I was trying to run that red back into the bunch and play the snooker in behind the pink. Didn't quite happen. So after a minute or so's deliberation, there was no way of Phil getting it safe. And if all the reds weren't open, I might have taken that one onto the middle. But I felt that that was a much safer option, cutting the one off to the left corner. And again, none of those, I can't get to the red just the other side of the black. The one down the cushion, there's no way of holding, and I don't really fancy it. So just trying to keep things tight. So I'll make his life easy by not having to walk around the table. I'll deliver it to the bulk cushion for him. Now, option of cutting this red into the left middle, and the white's always going to go back up the other end. But perhaps it was a little bit more than I could manage on that one. Now, the red here is just off a straight, so I'm not playing a pot here. Just want to send the red round the angles, down the table, and leave the white up the other end. I didn't fancy potting that red and then having a mare of a yellow or something, and there was no point in just removing the 1 point off the table. Well, I didn't think so anyway. And again, with the black not going to the left corner, the red that was on the far right hand side of the table as we were looking, that was dead straight. So again, no point in taking that one because it didn't take me onto any sort of colour. But as you can see, this is where it's starting to get very busy in that right quarter of the table. So all I want to do is get the cue ball back roughly somewhere where it was, but as nice and thin as that shot was, it didn't leave the cue ball in the best of positions, and Phil's got his hand on the table. So I really don't think this black goes. Now, ultra thin one, which, you haven't hit hard enough. Just wanted to come back off the bulk cushion for the green into its own pocket. So instead, I'll send the green down into the reds and leave the cue ball there, because then nothing's going to be potable. And I can't get to the red closest to the right corner, and I didn't fancy the one that's nearest the top cushion, just because the white looked to me as if it was going to go into the other reds. So I attempted, I say attempted, that was a very loose attempt at the red in the middle. And again here, nothing else on, can't see any sort of safety, so trying to pop my way out of trouble by sticking that red in the middle, but not to be. And Phil, as he said after this, he was trying to get me right behind the brown to cut off as many opportunities as possible. And again, with that one, I was hoping for more of a flick off the blue because it wasn't straight, but I thought I'll leave the double on the brown, and missed it by a couple of inches at least. It's awful. Anyway. Alright, Phil's got an opportunity here to get back down for the red nearest this right corner, which he's on. Yeah, nicely played. Always going to bring the pink out with this one. Tough brown. Oh, almost flicked it. Right, come on. Let's start potting some balls. So I've ended up, I was trying to stay high on it so I could come down the table for the single red down here, but as I'm low, I'm going to play it with low to top and try and knock off the red, the one that I've just skimmed past. Wanted to, well, make that into a slightly better position, knowing that I always had that red up near the bulk cushion. And here, can I get a snooker? There was not really any other shot available. So actually quite happy that a shot has worked out for a change in this match thus far. But good hit on his first attempt. And I'll just leave it over the other side of the table. So, a number of safety shots later, Phil has left me this chance at a red to the right corner. Trying to get back up for the blue, maybe the brown. Just depending on how the white came off and how hard I ended up hitting it. But the two reds up in bulk, they don't pot to the left, sort of the yellow pocket. I mean, the one closest to the cushion does, but the other one doesn't. So to give myself a better chance of getting on the red, I'm going to screw this one in because they both go to the green pocket. So as long as I'm on that side of the table, I'll have a choice of the two. And a bit of unwanted left-hand side, as you can see, the cue balls come much closer to the cushion than I wanted. Oh, what a miss! It wasn't easy, and I'm still beating myself up about that one, but it definitely wasn't as easy as it looked. Should still have potted it though, I feel. So trying to get me in behind the black, and he's almost succeeded. And I'm not even going to try potting this. I'm thinking about getting the white back down behind the pink or black, but hit it too hard. But I have managed to get the yellow safe, which was the number one aim. Yeah, chance for the yellow, and then play a safety shot off the greens, just send the white up the other end of the table behind the brown, and hope that I don't leave the green on, which I haven't. So I've got the snooker, and Phil's missed it, but I'm not going to put him back on this one, I decide, because I think I can play that one excuse me, into the corner. But yeah, I should have put him back in there really. So is that a turning point for the end of this frame? Is he going to pop these and come back? Again, that was really snatchy cueing. I'm surprised that green even went in. I seem to be jabbing everything rather than stroking it. Okay. Blue's frame ball. Drop this one in. Go on. Don't miss. Don't miss. Oh, right, that's that one. Or is it? So we've got 13 points still on the table. So Phil's trying to play a snooker, and that is mightily unfortunate, I think. I know the frame was kind of already over at that point, but, you know, even when you're playing for snookers, to fluke a ball in like that is never nice. And it's never a nice way to win a frame, even if you've already got that far anyway. Anyway, so there's the first couple of frames. The first one was good. The second one was particularly scrappy, but at least I've managed to put it back to 1-1. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon with frames 3 and 4. But for now, take care.